A win is a win. That's all I keep telling myself. Last night, the Knicks defeated the Dallas Mavericks 113-111 in a controversial win. The game was nothing to be proud of as a Knicks fan. We shot terribly from beyond the arc. We missed 16 free throws. You heard me right. 16 free throws, including 6 that could have ended the game. We played with our food last night in Dallas with a severely undermanned team. My question is why? Why not play to our potential and make teams throw in the white towel every single night? Once again, Landry Shamet saved the day for us. He hit 2 huge threes in the final 60 seconds of regulation and defended Brandon Williams in the very last play of the game, which we will get into later on tonight, because the Dallas fans say the refs helped the Knicks, and Knicks fans say it was the right call because that's the same call Cat gets every night. The refs agreed with Knicks fans, and the 2-minute report said that it was the right call. Other than that, Jalen Brunson returned. He put up 28 points. Cat had his normal double-double with 18 points, 14 rebounds. Josh Hart, again, Mr. Double-Double with 16 points, 10 rebounds. Mikal reminds us every game why we say fuck them picks. He finished with 16 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. I'm Ms. Knicks with the Knicks and Ish panel. Thank you for tuning in. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Now let's go talk some Knicks and Ish.
Now hit the intro.
Mic check 1, 2.
Action.
Tell these rappers I'm outside, get them start acting up. Turning hoes to housewives and cleaning the ratchet up. Do it all from boom back to melody rap. If they can put you in the box, then you might as well pack it up. Bars having bars, no cap, I'm Attica, you a precinct. How y'all competing when y'all just decent? Your rhyme efficiency's like logic simplicity. Don't tell me how much that you black, cause I don't see it. That's it. Welcome to Precinct.
Fuck the ball! Fuck everybody on the floor! When we see you in the finals, bring that same energy, nigga!
Yeah. Live and direct once again on your YouTube screen. It is your favorite Knicks and Ish panel. And of course, y'all already know the vibe because I am the one and only Parlay Lord, aka Fraz Taz, here in the building with the Knicks and Ish panel. Never limited to, but always including the first lady of Knicks and Ish. Mrs. Knicks is in the building. And of course, it wouldn't be Knicks and Ish without my guy, the infamous Knickerbocker Ave. And you know, last but not least, we all got our co-host here who's in the building, the one and only Kev Rodriguez. Hit me with the celly like blow, blow, blow. Press like for your favorite panel. Sharing as always, Karen. If you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button and make sure your bell set to all so you get all notifications when Knicks and Ish goes live. Some housekeeping real quick. I don't see nobody in here yet, but we're gonna give people a chance to pull up. Guys, this was a tough game. This was a tough game to watch. You know what I mean? Knicks win over the Dallas Mavericks, 113-111 in a nail biter. Landry Shamet comes up big in the end. This is the first road win for the New York Knicks this season. I believe our road record is 1-4. 1-4? Yeah, 1-4. Something like that. But panel, take it away.
What can be said other than it's nice to finally get that monkey off our back? The Knicks desperately needed to get this victory. And considering that Dallas was severely undermanned. No Anthony Davis, no Kyrie Irving, no Dante Exum, no Cooper Flagg. So what was the excuse if you had Jalen Brunson coming back, from missing a couple of games for him, for that to actually happen? That's unexcusable. The Knicks. Listen, we talked about it in the last game, in the last talk show. The Knicks need to figure out how to get stops. It's cool to get get those crucial stops in key moments in the fourth quarter, but against teams like this, I mean, given everybody, everybody's a professional team and they're all professional athletes, but come on now, the Dallas Mavericks took you to the limit, and we're supposed to be a NBA Finals contending team. Nah, I'm sorry. That something has to be done because the way this team is performing right now under Coach Mike Brown is not only underwhelming, it's rather disappointing.
Go ahead, Kev.
I mean, to be honest with you, I didn't even think they deserved to win that game last night. Like, yo, for them to be down so many players like that with the players that we got, the talent that we got, and for us to, I mean, I get it. We're not gonna be blowing out games every game. I mean, blowing out teams every game. I understand that, but when you got guys down like that, and you putting your best players on the court plus your bench, and you only win by 2, you miss 16 free throws, and you only win because one of our bench guys decides to go off at the last minute. Thank God for Shamet, because if not, we lose this game. I mean, on both ends, because if it wasn't for him causing that offensive foul, that's a layup in the and one, and we lose the game. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, last night it was just a tough game to watch. Really, I was frustrated with the defense all throughout the game. The we couldn't guard the perimeter. Shout out to Darlene. What up, Darlene?
Darling.
What up, sis? The perimeter defense was just trash. They out. I mean, they had a rebound more than we did, which I don't understand that. With Josh, Cat, and Mitch playing, how is it that they rebound us by 1? Like, I don't understand that. You know, um, it 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 was just confusing to me, man. I don't know what's going on with the defensive. I know it's early, but we were supposed to be this really good defensive team, and it's been the complete opposite. We're good putting up numbers. Offensively, we good. Like, I don't think we have any problem. I mean, we could move the ball around. We've been attacking the basket more. You know what I mean? But we're just, when it comes to defense, like you said, Av, we're just, this is not championship defense right here. You don't win championships like this. Nah, you don't, bro. This is how you barely make the playoffs, to be honest.
And if I may, salute to you, Randall, for checking
What up,
in. And if
Randall?
I may,
City, bro.
add on to what Kevin was talking about specifically with the defense, I saw a couple of things that I didn't like, especially when the Knicks was playing zone, especially in the first half in the third quarter. They were getting caught with the double team was getting caught out and hung out to dry. What I mean is, okay, if Dallas was coming down on offense, so they'll push the ball to the corner. When the double team would go to the corner, they get caught off. They get caught with the double team. So nobody's out there guarding the guy who brought the ball up half the time. So that's why you saw a lot of easy threes that Dallas was making. In fact, Dallas was 7 of 14 in the first quarter from three, which is atrocious. Like, you gave up 7 threes in the first quarter? Hell, I think the Knicks only had 3 3-pointers made in the first half.
No,
If
they
I
were
may add
9.
on that.
They made
Oh,
9 in the first quarter,
oh,
and they make 10 as a team.
it was like, man, it was like, whoa. I'm like, it's crazy. And the Knicks were getting caught on the switch too, because I remember seeing in the game, Dallas was playing the mismatch with Najee Marshall on Jalen Brunson. That's another thing that the Knicks have to work on. I know we've talked about it in previous episodes of trying to hide Jalen Brunson on the defensive end. Well, Dallas was attacking that matchup a lot. And the last part of the defense that I didn't like that I wanted to talk about, the Knicks was getting hung out to dry on the pick and roll. Like they
Mm-hmm.
was not defending the pick and roll well at all in last night's game.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say that, listen, I got a rant later, and I'm gonna save it too. All right, I got a rant later. I'm gonna talk about, but I'm gonna let sis have the floor right now. Go ahead, sis.
Let me just say, I did not take my high blood pressure medicine before the game last night, and I damn sure should have.
And you
Being,
were there. And you
I
were
was,
there.
and I was there exactly. I know how y'all feel watching it on TV, but I was there in person, and I wanted to pull every one of these dreadlocks out of my head. It was beyond frustrating, beyond frustrating, because as a fan of this team, I know we are better than the product they put on that court last night. And like I said in the intro, this win was a win and I take it, but it is absolutely nothing to be proud of as a fan. This team has so much more work than we probably anticipated this season. Earlier, before the season started, much more work to do as a team, because if they come out like this against, like Knickerbocker said, a severely undermanned team, we're going to lose a lot of games. There's no way this game should have even been this close. We should have came out strong in the first quarter, bust the lead wide open, and smooth sailed the rest of the game. But no, we played with our food. We allowed guys to take over the game. Klay Thompson hitting threes. D'Lo being D'Lo from rookie year D'Lo, not D'Lo 13 years in D'Lo. You know what I'm saying? We allow dudes to come out and show out, and pause, dang. And we almost had no answer for them. Like, we literally again waited to the end to respond. And thank goodness, again, Landry Shamet saved our ass once again. um, because without him, I don't know. I'm sitting there and I like being in other arenas talking hella shit. And most of the game, I'm sitting there like, what the fuck is going on? Literally, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I'm listening to Mavericks fans talk hella shit, right? This dude right in front of me. First to 100, we win in the game. First to 100, they hit 100. He going ape shit. I'm sitting there like, all right, cool. Then we start coming back, right? Shaman hits that first three. Old boy got up and walked out. I'm like, where you going? First to 100 wins the game. Where you going? So literally couldn't enjoy myself to the last 60 seconds of the damn game. Like, it's insane. No, the Knicks got to do better. They got to do better. They're more talented than what they're putting out. And I don't want to see this shit again. I really don't.
I will say this: within the last 3 minutes of the game, they locked in defensively. They did. They locked in because they kind of realized, wait a minute, Dallas ain't playing. They not going away. We gotta win this game. There was some type of like something
Urgency.
right, urgency, right, that's the word. There was some kind of like urgency, which I thought they should have played like that throughout the whole game, not the last 3 minutes, because defensively they picked it up a notch, right? But like you said, Shamit came in. I think that's like the second time in 3 games that he comes and wins a game for us, right, if I'm correct.
Right. Correct.
um but they got to do a better job, man, because it's gonna be hard, man.
I
We
mean, think
fake.
about it. We won by 2 points. They
Right.
didn't have Kyrie. They didn't have Anthony Davis. They didn't have Cooper Flag.
Right. Those are their
We
three
would have got
best
our
players.
asses handed to us last night if they would have played.
The fact is that the Knicks right now, the way they're playing, I get it. A lot of us are excited about the way the offense is flowing. You know, the ball is moving, guys are getting down up and down the court. It's faster, blah 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 blah. But I asked the question in the last show. I'm going to ask it again. We can put the ball in the bucket all day long. Can we stop the other team from doing it?
Nope.
Clearly, no.
Nope.
Clearly, no.
It hasn't been happening, man. Like I
I,
think teams are averaging over 100+ points on us.
I understand that the NBA has changed. I've bit that bullet and I understood that, and I know that that most NBA teams they live and die by the 3-pointer. Got it, understood. But the game is still played the same exact way, no matter how we want it. The one with the most points wins. If you're the better team, you show your dominance and you stop the other team from doing what they have to do. That's how you win. That's how championships are won. That's how NBA Finals appearances occur. I don't see how the Knicks, under this philosophy, are they going to be able to contend with other teams who also get up and down the court, who also run a quicker pace, and have been doing it for a whole lot longer. I'm going to quote my buddy on my Spaces the other night on NYK mentality, and he said it like this: I don't think Coach Brown ever looked at all 82 games of the Knicks last season, understood the personnel that he has, and tried to play up to those strengths. I honestly feel that Mike Brown figured that he can just bring in his philosophy, his schematics, his offense, and it can be transposed on any team with any personnel. And that's just not going to work. I'm sorry. But as much as I like the fact of JB off the ball, I would love to see Karl Anthony Towns post up more. I would love to see more of an inside out game. I don't mind them getting, being the first ones to the corner. I don't mind that shit. I don't mind the ball movement. But can we play I don't know, basketball instead of an all-out 3-point contest? I mean, that's pretty much what it's become to. Drive the lane, kick it out. Drive the lane, kick it out. Drive the lane, kick it out. I mean, just look at this damn stat. 42 threes, shooting under 30%.
Terrible.
And Dallas was on their way to almost being 40%. I think at one point they were at 43% if they didn't miss those last.
No, they were 50% after the first quarter, 7 for 14.
Yeah. You was right, Fraz. It was 9 in the first half they hit, but 7 in the
Yeah,
first quarter, right?
yeah.
But the Knicks shot what 3 for 22 in the first half from the 3-point. That was terrible.
Wow.
What had
No,
them in the game? What had them in the game was driving to the basket. They kept driving to the basket, attacking the cup. That was it. Other than that, man, that 3-point shooting was terrible.
well, and not only that, D'Angelo Russell was killing us from the mid range. That was one thing that was just like, wow, y'all letting D'Angelo Russell kill us
Right.
from mid range? Like, really?
I mean, the Knicks did win the battle of the paint. They won 44-30. That graphic's not up.
Yeah,
Excuse
they
me.
did.
But the reality is that how effective were they? I mean, did you do what do you do about this stat?
Yeah,
What do you do about that?
Yeah,
that's
that was
I
unexcusable
mean,
right
So
there.
my thing with that one is that I'm not really concerned because think about it. One of our bench players was a starter last night because of OG out.
Mm-hmm.
but
Like that kid Najee Marshall killed us in the first half.
But as Mrs. Knicks have said in every single show, after every single post game, there's the stat again. 25 and up, we win.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Barely, but we won.
Nah, she bumped it up to 30. Wait a minute.
Barely, but we won. I take it. I guess the word to describe it is disappointed. I'm disappointed. Like, there's no way. If this was a fully manned team and it played out this way, I would be okay. You know what I mean? Because realistically, Dallas fully manned is not a bad team.
No, they're not.
No,
They were
they're
nowhere close to fully manned. So I was hella disappointed.
I guess the question.
And I think.
Go ahead.
Nah, go ahead, Ab.
I guess the question is, for the panel and of course for everybody in the comment section, if you can drop a super chat, let us know what you guys think. What is realistically the adjustments that need to be made, and is Mike Brown capable of making them, and will the players respond? Because I'm sorry, you had Jalen Brunson last night, so you're only down OG. Jalen still did what Jalen does. Jalen's still lit up the scoreboard, still did what he does. He looked like he didn't miss a step. But Dallas almost stole this undermanned.
Mm-hmm.
How do you then go looking ahead at the schedule, looking ahead at who's going to be coming up next? We got Orlando on Saturday. We got a reprieve a little bit with Brooklyn following that, but then we have more teams that can get up and down the floor a whole lot better, a whole lot quicker, and they've been doing it for a whole lot longer. And they like to light up the scoreboard. They like to get to 125, 140 a game. How do you, the New York Knicks, explain that, and how do you combat that? I mean, what necessarily has to do? Drop your comment in the chats. Hit it up for super chat if you're feeling saucy. I want to hear from you. But panel,
I mean,
what do we do?
I think offense needs to be run through motherfucking Cat. This is what we pay him for. And I feel like if we get him going early, at least penetrating.
Bang! It's good! Wins the game at the buzzer!
You took the words right out of my mouth, right there. I mean, I know. But reality, that's exactly what needs to happen. They have to start running the offense a little bit more through Karl Anthony Towns, and he needs to play more of a traditional role.
Exactly. I feel like you let him take the ball into the basket early on. It sets the tone. It opens up those 3-point shots. You know what I mean? Because teams are then going to say, okay, no, we're not going to let Cat take over. Then let, our other guys take over. But I don't understand. Our first shot for every fucking game this season is a spray 3. I'm so fucking annoyed with this spray 3 at this point. It's not working. It doesn't work every night. When it goes in, it looks good and we celebrate and we're happy. But on the fucking nights that it doesn't work, like last night, like the game before, like the first couple of games, what do? We just keep shooting the shit. Like there has to be a plan B when the threes aren't falling. And the plan B, to me, just as a fan watching the game, is pound the fucking ball in the paint. No one can stop our guys. No one's stopping Cat. No one's stopping Mikal. No one's stopping JB when he gets into the paint. Why are we not using that to then open up the 3 to make it easy on guys like Deuce, to make it easier on guys like Shamet, to make it easier for JB to hit a 3? Why are we making this game so difficult on ourselves? Because that's all we're doing. We're making it more difficult on ourselves. Cat is the key. 18 points from Cat in a game where there's no fucking Anthony Davis is not okay. And
Um, j-
I'm gonna drop the motherfucking mic right there.
well, just to add on to what Sis was saying, I did mention this early on in the season. It does need to go through Cat a lot more because you got Cat playing the four now. Cat should be having some role as a point forward. I'm not saying every play. I'm not saying he got to do it every play. But what needs to happen is three things that I see that I didn't really like. Definitely needs to be more of a point forward, and you need to start running things through Cat a lot more because, as you see, especially on that home stand, when the ball's running through Cat, they come over for the double team. You got a swing pass and a pass to the outside for an open shot. 9 times out of 10, that was the formula that was working early on, especially in the home stand. On the road, not as much. You don't see much of that because if you look at Cat's numbers, I believe Cat's numbers are more down when the Knicks are on the road than at home. Okay, so
Mhm.
that backs it up. That's the first thing. The second thing that I see, and I've seen this all season, and this is one thing that personally irks me with the Knicks. Why are we giving up our dribble so early to a point where you're allowing guys to close out on defense? And now you put yourself in the jam when you pick up your dribble, and guys is already looking for our players to make that pass so they can steal the ball and run transition the other way. And that's one of the biggest problems I've been seeing in games all season long. Now, don't get me wrong, the Knicks are 9-5. It's a shaky 9-5, though. You know what I mean? It's a very shaky 9-5. Okay. And the other thing that I saw that I didn't really like too much, it's too much erratic shots. I mean, you can't be taking all these contested shots thinking that, it's just gonna fall in the hoop every time. The Knicks play way better when you have those wide open shots that you see as a result from Cat driving to the lane and double team, as a result from the swing passes that I mentioned earlier. All right, so it all ties in. It all ties in. But again, this is absolutely right. Cat really is the key to this offense. And if you get Cat more in a point forward role, I think the Knicks would be way better in games like this. Because the other part is you're taking a big man out of the paint. We already know Mitch is going to eat on the boards all day. Hell, he's been eight or better most of these games. I know because I've been betting on him. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, that's what needs to be done. I think that remedies a lot of the problems. I'm not saying every problem, but that remedies a lot of the problems that we have on the offensive end. Okay.
The crazy thing is I just look at the numbers. At home, Carl Anthony Towns averages about 24 to 25 a night with 12 rebounds. On the road, it's down to 16.
Exactly.
So
I didn't even have to look at stats for that one. I could have just go just off the
Why can't we do this every night?
ah.
And we've been asking for that pick and roll. We've been asking for
Pick and
that pick and
roll.
roll. Pick and roll. Pick
the
and roll.
simplest
Pick and
play,
roll.
the oldest play, and for some reason, look at that.
Yo, and every time they used it, it worked because there's another pick and roll joint that worked as well that I seen before the par start. I was watching the game, so it was a few times they used the pick and roll, but if they don't use it enough, if they use it more, the offense would be way more crazy. But the thing is that we know they could put up points. Our adjustment needs to be on the defensive end, bro, all the way.
Kev,
Points is not a
we had a
problem.
defensive coach for the last I don't know how many years, and he couldn't
All right,
get them to fucking defend that 3-point line either.
Yeah, but last year as the season went, and they gotten better and better on the defensive end. You know what I mean? But for some reason under Mike Brown, it hasn't been that way. You know what I mean? one some way somehow they're gonna have to figure that part out, bro, because we can't keep over putting up all these points to try to win these games, because that's not gonna work every time. It's not. You know what I mean? 120, 130. Like, we really had to score 100 and what? 116 points yesterday to win the game.
113.
113.
113, 113. So, they got to do a better job on the defensive end, bro. That's the biggest issue. That is the biggest issue with this team.
Well, I'm looking at the averages. The Knicks average about 125 a night at Madison Square Garden. They're averaging
But
like
we
less
give
than
up
115
113.
on their own. Defensively, it's almost flip flopped, and
Right.
Thus
it's.
our record.
I'm just saying. I mean, there's a reason why we're 8-1 in Madison Square Garden, yet we're 1-4,
1-4 on the road.
and this is not going to get it done on in any imagination. I mean, given I quote Mr. Live a lot, we really don't evaluate the team till we hit the 20 game mark. Well, we're 14 in. November 30th is the 20th game. Thus far, how do you rate the Knicks this, thus far? Because I'm almost I got mad at Dom. Everybody knows Dom. He's a frequent visitor. When he first told me that we were not winning the NBA championship, I wanted to choke him. Seriously, I wanted to choke him. Now I see what he meant by it.
Listen, man. Right now, I'll give him a B, man. I'm gonna give him a B just because defense is they're not putting the effort in, man. That's how. That's like right now. It's like kryptonite. It's like they allergic to playing defense. It's like I don't understand it, bro. That them the other team drives to the paint on us on a regular basis. The perimeter defense is super suspect. The transition, I keep saying it over and over and over. That's why I give them a B, because I know y'all could put up the points, but other than that, it's like, what else are y'all doing?
Mm,
I'm gonna
mm,
give them a C. They got a hell of after last night. They got a hell of a lot of work to do. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like when the offense is flowing, and what I said when we started winning again. When the shots are going in, it's gonna look good. When it doesn't go in is when we see what it really is, right? Because realistically, we ain't the fucking Golden State Warriors where we just gonna be popping threes all fucking game. That's not even New York basketball. That's not New York basketball now. That's never been New York basketball. You know what I mean? So they get a C. They got a hell of a lot of work to do, in my eyes, to be contenders. And again, we have the talent. It's implementing what needs to be done to make it happen. Whether it's the coaches' adjustments, whether it's the guys working on their game, whether it's, staying in the fucking gym to make free throws. Like, y'all need to do whatever needs to be done. Y'all get paid hella money. We need a ring. We need a ring this season. You have a lot of work to do, Knicks. Make that shit
mm.
happen.
And honestly, I'm gonna agree with sis, and the C is for the lack of consistency. I've been talking about this since the beginning of the season. In order for you to be one of the elite teams in the NBA, you have to be consistent. And we all know basketball is a game of repetition. Why? Because you come down the court and try to score buckets and prevent the other team from scoring buckets for 48 minutes. And that right now is the problem. The Knicks a lot of these games, the Knicks have not played a full 48 minutes of defense. And that's the problem. The offensive side, I'm not worried about too much because the Knicks have been scoring over 100 points in most of these first 14 games. Okay. In fact, I think they almost scored 100 points in almost all the games, maybe with the exception of one or two. Y'all could check me against that. Y'all know how I feel. But again, I give them a C. The C is for the Knicks need to be more consistent. And shout out my guy Jimmy J1. What up, Karl? You already know what it is. But yeah, the Knicks have to be consistent on the defensive end in order for us to be a championship caliber team.
Yeah. So fact checking. Yes, we scored over 100 points in every single game, even the ones that we lost.
Mm-hmm.
I
Um,
mean, this is the parlay, Lord. You know what I do.
right. Um, it's it seems to be they've only kept their opponents under 100 twice.
Twice? Yeah, I was about to say twice.
That was the game in Boston and the game against Brooklyn. So the two Bs,
Yeah.
which we will see them again in the next coming weeks. But to look ahead, we have Orlando. We're in Orlando, which again I still don't understand the NBA's concept of having the Knicks in Miami to then fly to Dallas, Texas to come back to Florida and face the Magic. Why didn't they just do that back to back is beyond me. But
Schedule makers.
so they have Orlando on Saturday. They're in Brooklyn on Monday, which is technically a home game. Then they're in Wednesday against the Charlotte Hornets, and then they're at home for two more from Milwaukee and Toronto, which will complete the 20-game marking period. Panel, Kev, I'm gonna start with you. You just heard the opponents. What are we doing over the next 6 games?
Okay, I'm sorry. Who were the opponent? I'm sorry. Who were the opponents again?
Or
You said
Orlando on
You said
Saturday. Orlando on
Orlando
Saturday.
Saturday.
Brooklyn on Monday. Charlotte on Wednesday. Milwaukee on Friday, and then Toronto the following Sunday on the 30th.
I think, to be honest with you, the way we've been playing defense, I'm a little concerned. I'm a little concerned. I think that if these guys come to play on that end of the court, we could be successful. But playing Orlando is tough. We already lost one to them. They're gonna be down Banchero, but they're still good. They still got a lot of talent on that team. We gotta, that's gonna be a tough one. Um, I'm even feeling iffy about the Charlotte and Brooklyn games, because look at how Dallas played us. Like, the and then you said Milwaukee and Toronto. Toronto's been playing good, and Milwaukee's been decent. You know what I mean? So, you know that's gonna be a tough one, man. I could see us winning, like,
No.
let me see. We got Brooklyn, Charlotte, Milwaukee, Toronto,
Orlando. Yeah.
Orlando. I'm gonna say 3-2. I'm gonna say 3-2. I'm gonna say we go 3-2, man.
All right. Well, I'm gonna give two records real quick. If the Knicks come out and play defense like we was playing early on in the season, I think the Knicks can go 4-1. Milwaukee's not gonna have Giannis. You know what I mean? And I think that's going to be a game for Cat to dominate because we all know Miles Turner cannot play against Karl Anthony Towns if Karl Anthony Towns is on his game. Now, if the defense plays like it did tonight, I'm going to agree with Kevin, say 3-2 if the defense don't show up. But if we show up like we showed up early on in the season, I'm going to say 4-1.
Yeah, because
This is
you know,
Knicks.
to,
I'm saying we not winning. We not losing another game in this these next few games. The last show when we gave our predictions, I said the only game we were losing in the next 10 was going to be that Miami game, and I'm sticking to that. We lost that Miami game. That's it.
Um, This is
Shit,
gonna
we
be
barely
tough.
won that Dallas game though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Because
literally Kev texts me and
We
he's like,
barely won
I
that.
don't think we gonna win. Kev like, I just don't
I'm
feel like
dead.
we gonna
Yo,
win this.
yo, it was just the vibes, everything that was happening. Like missing free throws. I think we missed like 5 or 6 free throws in the
6
fourth
in a row
quarter.
at
What
the
the
end.
fuck? What the fuck is going on here, man? Like it was crazy. So like I see us. I like that. 4-1 would be great. From your mouth to God's ears. You know what I mean? But me being realistic and how we've been playing defensively is kind of hard for me to go with the 4-1 route because we just not playing the way we should play on that court. We're not. I don't see it. You know what I mean? we might we
Marlin.
might go we might go 2-3 if we sleep for real. If we
that's
sleep for
actually
real,
that's the scare.
Toronto is a L. Toronto is a L because RJ Barrett and Emmanuel quickly they playing good ball. You know what I mean? And then
And
uh
they have Brandon Ingram now, I think.
and they have
Yep.
Brandon Ingram and homeboy that so Toronto is on the rise, right? Charlotte. I mean, they 4-11. Lamelo Ball is disgruntled. He wants out of the Hornets. He wants to be traded, from what I last heard. So,
And go
but you
where?
still can't. You still no. I'm just saying I was before
Nah, that
that's what
was
they were
earlier
saying.
today. We was talking. Yeah.
He's disgruntled. He wants out of Charlotte. He don't want to be there. But at the same time, we can't sleep on him. He's still a player. He's still putting up numbers. He's like, if you look at his numbers, they look ridiculously crazy. Ridiculously crazy. So you can't sleep on the Hornets. You know what I mean? If they play
At this
anywhere
point,
like
you can't
Dallas,
sleep on any team.
or no,
Facts.
no, no, especially, and I only say that because, like you said, we're not playing to our potential. Defensively, we are hot, dumpster, trash, bro. Like we got
Everyone
a
in
few
the chat.
players.
Everyone in the chat. Drop down your take. What are the Knicks doing over the next 5 games to close out the month of November? You heard the opponents. Give us your take. We'll shout you out. Sorry, Kev.
Defense, now you good. Defensively, we just been really, really bad, bro. Like you saw what happened to us yesterday. Dallas looked like I really thought we was gonna lose. We deserved to lose. Dallas deserved to win that game. I'm not gonna sit here and
Facts.
bullshit you at all. I know people might not want to hear that, but it is what it is. We deserved to lose that game just by how we played. You know what I mean? Like we was giving up two. We turned the ball over, making bad decisions, playing terrible defense, not playing smart, fouling like crazy because we was butching like crazy too. We got lucky with that offensive foul at the end of the game because if it would have went the other way, we would have lost. We would have lost by 1 point. So,
Well, I'm
you
glad you
know,
brought it up. So we could I'm gonna play the video and then we could discuss it, right? Because
right.
to me that was controversial when it all came down to it. It was really just Mavs fans versus Knicks fans on who was right and who was wrong in the play. So I'm gonna play the video, and y'all let me know what y'all think.
Williams on the drive, goes underneath left. He puts it up. They wave it off. They wave it off.
I got one more view.
Yeah, because that one wasn't that great.
I didn't even see nothing. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Offensive.
That's offensive foul.
Offensive.
But
Can't hook
listen,
like that.
That's a hook
but to
and a
be on,
shove.
but listen, if you really listen, it to me, to be honestly, right? To be honest and to be fair, it could have went either way.
They could have.
because it could have went either way because before he hooked him, you could see Landry Shamet bumping him. So but what really screwed Dallas was him hooking him. Like that really was like so visual because it wasn't much contact that Shamet was hitting him with the hip, but there's some referees that'll call that. So it could have went either way. I think what really got them niggas was the flop. I mean not the flop, the hook on Shamet. That's what really got us the call.
Well, the reality is that in normal circumstances, they would usually call that foul on Shamet as a blocking foul, but they didn't call him that. Because he was still a step behind him. So so when old boy hooked him and then pushed him out of the way, the hook that could have been questionable. But the fact that you actually still pushed off of him to get the shot off.
Yeah.
In football, in baseball, in basketball, in hockey, that's illegal. I don't know how you do that, but you can't do that
in basketball. It's not. Basketball is not legal.
I mean, you're allowed to shield the ball. Don't get me wrong. You can shield the ball, but if you saw from when he shielded, he was already trying to set up the space to go around him and hook. And in the rule book of the NBA, it clearly states if you hook like that, that's an offensive foul. It says it in the rule book. You know what I'm saying?
They call it on cat all the time.
But now that's true. Now let me go back to Kevin's point real quick about the bumping from Shaman. Yes, it does depend on which referees call that. But 9 times out of 10 in a situation like that, most referees gonna let them play on. And we know that because the simple fact is if the game is chippy like that, they're gonna try and keep it like this for both sides because it's always it's like we say here, Knicks, is that fine line, right? That fine line for the call. And I don't necessarily think the bump was a foul, and I'm gonna tell you why. Now, if Landry Shamet is like purposely like trying to move him out of position, yeah, call that on Landry Shamet all day long. But he was straight up with him, right? And he gave him a little nuts. They're not going to call that most of the time. I'm going to be honest with you because I've seen that in a lot of games. They're not going to call that most of the time. You got to be overly aggressive on defense for them to call that. You know what I'm saying? Now, if Shaman was more aggressive, that would have been a foul call. I definitely would have thought that would have been a foul call if Shaman was more aggressive.
So I will say this.
Let's be hold up, man. Hold on, Miss. Hold on. But let's be real here. We Knicks fans. We seen plenty of bullshit calls where we get them little fouls. We've seen many a times people call fouls. That Shaman shit, somebody else, that shit would have been a foul and one. Game over. We seen it constantly, time and time. We've been on this panel fighting with the referees for bullshit calls.
Yeah.
We just got one tonight. It just went our way. Thank God.
Thanks. I will say this. I feel like they kind of let them play physical yesterday. And so calling a foul on Shamet would have been against everything they did all game. I think
Salute.
like Fred said, it wasn't a bump that took old boy like out of his position. It didn't even move him from his lane of his run into the basket. Exactly. So it was just letting him know, look, hey, it's a body here. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna show a clip from last night's game also where someone did it to JB. And a foul on the bump was not called. A foul was called, but not on the bump. Same exact thing. So if you think that Shamet was not called a foul, it wasn't called on Shamet, was to have the Knicks win. That's absolutely not true. Because the clip I'm going to play shows them also not called.
2-for-1 opportunity for the Knicks. Brunson drives on Christie, spinning, gets inside, flips it up, and the foul. And that's Brunson doing what you talked about at the top of the telecast, which you love about his game.
Now,
that's about the players reading what the refs are giving, right? So they clearly see the refs are allowing that shit. They allow physical play all game. The big men on Dallas were hacking all fucking game, and no calls were being made. Now, if they don't call that hook, then I would have been pissed because y'all been calling that on Cat all fucking season since last season. So they had to make that hooking call.
But let me add one thing to that too, and this will kind of give y'all a clearer understanding. Now, if Shamet obstructed his lane to the basket with that bump, that's a foul on Shamet. 10 out of 10. Straight
Facts.
up. They gonna call that on Shamet if he obstructs the lane. Meaning if he's more in the way of what's his name driving to the basket, they're gonna call that on Shamet because the bump, then the obstruction, that's not allowing him to, you know what I mean? You're impeding his way to the basket by rule. That's a fact.
And to be honest, if he was a smart player, he would have flopped his ass off when Shamet bumped him and got the call.
Take a page out of LeBron's book. Why not? He's this generation's GOAT. Why not? But that's neither
What you think? What you think about
Where,
it?
Av? Come on, Av. Tell us what you think.
I'm just glad the game is over. I'm just glad that we won. I'm just glad that in about a week we're not going to be thinking about this shit anymore.
Hopefully.
I'm more concerned right now about the next game, which is Saturday in Orlando. Look, that was exactly the correct call by the referee. He gets these kind of situations happen all the time, and therefore, and we've been plenty of victim of those. So for it to finally happen in our favor, it's great. I do not like the fact that the games come down to this.
Absolutely.
I cannot stand the fact that it came down to this. The fact is that this game should not have been close. The final score should have been 113. Knicks 113 on Dallas 100.
100.
Shit, it should have been 129. No, it should have been 129.
Would you let me finish? The reason it would have been 100 because by the last 2 minutes, I expected garbage minutes, and that's when you start bringing in Pacome Dadier and Tyler Kolek and Huck Porter. You start seeing all those guys come into play, and they give the rest. Right. See, that's where the 100 comes in. And besides, the NBA is all about let's get to 100. Let's get to 100. I mean, when they don't see triple digits for some reason, it's like you shot their dog or something. I don't know what's going on with them, but listen. 53 minutes into this podcast. Thank you so much to everyone who joined in. You guys are unbelievable. We appreciate you so damn much because this should have been happening last night, but Knickerbocker fell asleep, and I admit that openly. Mrs. Knicks was on the road from American Airlines Center going home, waiting. It's like, Av, where you at? Av, where you at? And Kevin's like, are you alive? Life be lifing, folks. Life be lifing.
Salute.
So yeah, nostalgia. See, I'm not the only one. See, you see.
Man.
Thank you.
It happens, man. I told Av. I said, man, don't stress it out. I know the feeling all too well, bro.
I mean, not only was it a late game for y'all, the game lingered on for super long. That fucking game was like 3 hours.
Fouls in the fourth at the end. Yeah. Right. Dragged it like another 40 minutes with all them fouls in the fourth quarter.
Like I got up at midnight and I'm like, had to go to sleep to wake up this morning. I'm like, shit, I'm still tired.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like I hope Mike Brown had them running like 1,000 suicides after missing all them free throws yesterday, bro.
You feel me?
You know what I'm saying? Because that was unacceptable. 16 free throws, bro.
And the
And
thing
to
was,
Wow.
it wasn't even just from one person. It was all the guys that usually make free throws. The captain missing clutch free throws.
Right.
Cat missing free
Cat
throws.
missing free
Jordan
throws.
Clarkson, who's a 92% free throw shooter for his career, missing free throws. Fucking Landry
Right.
Shamet missing
Damn
free
it.
throws. Like, it
It
made me
was
feel like they
wild.
had something in they fucking on their basket. Like, what the fuck is going on? That nothing's going in.
Yo, here are the free throw numbers. Towns 5 for 9. Mitch 1 for 6. Bridges 1 for
Oh
2.
my
Shamet 1
God,
for 3.
man.
Jalen 4 for 6. Jordan Clarkson 4 for 5. Josh Hart 3 for 4.
Yo, man, like I don't understand, Mitch. I don't understand, bro. It's free throws, bro. I see you dribbling the ball through your legs, cutting people up, shooting fucking step back 3-pointers, but you can't make a fucking free throw, bro. How
See,
does that work, bro?
my
How does
only
that
thing with
work?
that is when you look at the history of big men in the league, they always have issues shooting free throws.
Oh man.
Look at even great, great centers in the game that have played the game were terrible free throw shooters.
That's
we
Dwight
all
Look at
know the
Howard.
Shaq.
main
That's
example.
like
Yeah, Shaq.
listen, it's the
Dwight
easiest
Howard.
shot you can ever get, bro. It's the easiest shot.
It's
Nobody's
something
contested
about
it. It's
their
a
height.
free shot.
It's something
It's
about
basically
their height
mechanics.
and the angle.
It's mechanics.
But
It's
It's
bro,
never a
the
gimme
height
like
though.
and
you
the angle that they have to shoot is different than someone shorter.
All right.
I don't
Well,
know,
we
man. With all the time in the world, you should be able to fucking make
So
that shit
Quan,
happen and adjust.
they were trying to lose, but you know what? If they would have lost, Miss
we would
Knicks
have
would
been
have been in
pissed.
jail last night. Y'all have been
Word.
having to do a
Bail you.
GoFundMe to get me out.
Nah,
Like it would have been like
Crazy.
Me,
attempted murder on 14 guys.
me,
That's
Kevin
what would
T
have
would
happened
have to.
last night.
Me, Kevin T would have to freaking go to Pennsylvania to pick up Fresh so that we can go down to Dallas and go pick you up. That's how. That's how bad
right,
it is.
right.
I would have drove.
I may not have even gotten
Uh,
bail because it'd have been attempted murder on 14 adult men.
Yeah.
Wow.
And one
So
thing before we leave, before we wrap this up, I got one request. I got one thing I need to talk to the
I
people
got you.
about, right?
oh shit.
Sis, can you please wait, but first, before we do that, I need the disclaimer up. Please put the disclaimer up. So I don't want the show to get flagged. Put the disclaimer up for me one time, please, before I get into the discussion. I'm gonna read it. I got y'all. The following segment includes discussions about sports betting and gambling. This content is for entertainment and informational purposes only. We are not financial advisors, and nothing discussed should be considered betting advice or a guarantee of results. Gambling always carries risk. Never wager more than you can afford to lose. If you choose to bet, please bet responsibly and know your limits. If you or someone you know is struggling with gambling, help is available in the U.S. You can call or text the National Problem Gambling Helpline at 1 800 522 4700 for free and confidential support. Now, if I may, sis, can you please put up the other thing I want you to put up now? Because we got the disclaimer out of the way. As you can see, people, the parlay Lord delivered a Knicks win the other night. Not the last game, not the game before, but the game before that. I think this was the Miami game, was this? What game was this? I keep forgetting what game this was.
It was the
Let me
game
check.
OG went out.
I think
Okay.
that was Miami.
That
That was
was
the
the
That was
Miami
Miami
game.
game.
Miami. That
Yeah,
was
all right, I was
Miami.
right there. All right,
That
so
was the
this
first
was
Miami game.
now, for all of y'all out there watching, this was the shit that the Parlay Lord cooked up based on a lot of the picks I've been giving y'all throughout the season so far. As you can see, I know y'all saying, why does it say early exit eligible for OG? Because OG went down 5 minutes into the game. On DraftKings, they definitely allow you to void those people who go out in the first quarter. That's what early exit eligible means. As long as they go out before the end of the first quarter, all they're gonna do is just void those three for OG. So they voided the three for OG. Now, originally, $10 would have got you $125 on this slip. But because of the voids, I ended up cashing out $89 cash. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the first successful Knicks parlay from yours truly, the Parlay Lord, this season. And guess what, y'all? Y'all better expect some more because y'all know I'm going to cook up. You know what I mean? So, of course, I had to show y'all because I told y'all I was going to show y'all a green sheet. And I had to come through and deliver. You know what I mean? Thank you, sis. Word.
So, in other words, folks, you may want to listen to what Parlay Lord is because he didn't just get that name by accident.
That's a fact. And again, shout out my guy Marley Marl, aka Marlon Mayhem, for giving me the name the Parlay Lord. Because without him, I wouldn't be the Parlay Lord for real, for real. Yeah, I mean.
Hold on, before we go, Parlay Lord, you're not done. I'm not gonna letting you off the hook yet.
Go ahead. Ask me the question. Go ahead.
But it's actually not a question. It is something that you do owe us. You did
What do I owe
mention.
you?
How about if I just cue it up for you and we can go home on that?
Go ahead. Oh, I got you. Yeah, I got you. All right, bet. Yeah, let me get this random real quick because I've been dying to get this random. I almost forgot. Yeah, I mean, shout out to my guy T Time. You know what it is. First off, before I get into this rant, because he provided us with the thing here. Now, to get into my rant, all you Landry Shamet haters out there who had a question about why Landry Shamet made the team early on in the season, who was questioning why we brought Shaman back. I hope y'all starting to see that Shaman is paying dividends for this Knicks squad this season so far. Remember, Shaman had a 36-point game off the bench earlier in the season. And then last night comes up with the two biggest threes of the game and the defensive play to help win the game for the Knicks last night. What I'm gonna need a lot of y'all haters to do out there is stop hating and put respect on Landry Shamet's name. Why? Because number one, the Knicks came full circle with Shamet. They did not get rid of him after he had got injured with his rotator cuff the first season he came to the Knicks. The Knicks found a way to bring him back on the squad the following season. He ended up making a roster. And now he's paying it forward by giving us these performances where without OG, he's bringing that energy that we lacking from a lot of our other players. If you've been seeing the last few games that Shaman's been playing, he's been bringing that energy. In fact, that 36-point game, he got the crowd fired up and got the crowd into the game. You know what I'm saying? So for all y'all people who was questioning why Landry Shamet was brought back, here's your answer. And guess what? You're going to see more of it this season from Landry Shamet. Mark my words, because at the end of the day, he deserves to be a New York Knick.
End of rant.
Facts.
All right. That was fun. That was very much fun. So let's go around for the final thoughts so we can get on out here, get ready for Saturday. Kev, lead us off. Your final thought. Go.
Listen, just we need to get back from Orlando. Period. We gotta come. We gotta get that victory. We gotta get them back. And just start off and play full 4-quarter basketball, not the last 3 minutes of the game. Give us more, like Fraz said, consistency throughout the game. And if we do that, I think we're capable of beating Orlando. That's my final thought.
Sis?
I need to see belt to ass. I haven't seen it in a couple of games. I need to see belt to ass on Orlando. They're going to be shorthanded. They're still a good team. We need to be the New York Knicks that we see at home at the Garden. We need to see that same team on the road. So, Knicks, I know you're watching. One of y'all.
Deuce.
Most of you.
To ass. Please give us belt to ass. But before I pass it on, I did want to give a couple of shout outs. So last night I met up with some Knicks fans out here in Dallas, because yeah, we out here too. So I wanted to give what happened a shout out. This is us last night. So some of Knicks Twitter, there's Kara right here. There's Phil from the Knicks Nightcap podcast.
Oh shit.
There's Lee from Nick of Time podcast.
I know those fools.
And this is Mars Blackson, who also lives out here in Dallas. So big shout out to them. We had a blast last night. So yeah.
And Phil, I met Phil. I went to a
watch
few
parties, right?
Watch party. I went to 2 of Phil's watch parties, and both of them were great. He's a good dude, great vibes, good person. And shout out to them, man. And
For
Lee
sure.
too. I'll be reading his articles all the time. Shout out to them.
They're all pretty dope. Like I've met Lee and Kara before. We did last season. We did a game at Cosm, which is like an interactive 3D.
Yeah, I know about that. Yeah.
So we all met up and watched the game there. Phil was in town doing work, and so he came to the game last night. So that was my first time meeting him. But they're super cool. And you know, they all willing to collab with us. So be on the lookout soon.
Facts. That'd be great.
I've seen Phil a number of different times. I actually saw him at Knicks Twitter Day, but I didn't get a chance to introduce myself to him. But everything I've heard about this dude, real genuine dude.
Yeah,
real genuine.
It is.
And
It
so
is genuine.
No
fake shit.
I look forward to actually, one day, sharing a panel with him and chopping it up. But Fraz, any additional final thoughts besides the rant?
Of course. Well, I'm going to add on something at the end, but of course, I'm going to say it like this. In the next game versus Orlando, it is Orlando, right? In the next game versus Orlando, I need to see y'all come out in the beginning of the game. Karl Anthony Towns needs to get a lot of touches early with a big matchup against Orlando, because honestly, none of Orlando big men can contain Karl Anthony Towns. I need to see the New York Knicks playing that inside-out game. You need to start letting post up cats, or start using the pick and roll more, where you draw the center out to the perimeter. You know what I'm saying? Utilize the talent of these players to the maximum ability. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the reason why we not winning these games on the road. You're not maximizing the talent, and we not maximizing our effort. You know what I'm saying? Again, y'all, the word is consistency. And speaking of consistency, I think the parlay Lord just hit on something. It's crazy.
Was that noise?
Yeah, definitely. No. That was a sound effect, that noise. That was a sound effect. But nah, I definitely hit on one of my sheets tonight. I ain't gonna lie to y'all.
What you think, Nickelbacker?
Final thought is that we got to take care of business in Orlando. We need that get back. We need to start asserting our dominance. The Knicks are supposed to be, actually, not going to say supposed to be. They are the best team in the Eastern Conference, and they need to start playing like they are the best team in the Eastern Conference. The record doesn't show that right now, The results are iffy at best, but I will do what my boy Mr. Live, Mr. No Crispy Jerseys himself says. I will reserve judgment till we hit the 20-game mark. We're closing in on that. But until then, I will be watching. Even when I'm asleep, I know what's going on. All right? Just so we're clear. But we'll be back on Saturday, right after the Knicks take on Orlando. Hopefully it's a victory. We hope that all of you enjoy yourselves. I hope all of you enjoyed us right after, about 30 minutes after the game. And be sure to continue. Please, we really do appreciate it. If you do like the content, you love the vibes, you love your favorite panel, hit the like, comment below, hit that subscribe button. And if you haven't already done so, I'm going to show you the graphic again. We have merch. Visit the Shopify. Cop yourself some merch because we're going to have some fire shit coming because me and Mrs. Knicks have been coming up with how are we going to tie in the yeet with the ish, and we're going to mix that up somehow. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to go down like that. So if you like that, be sure to hit the comment button. Let us know what you want. Be sure that you're sharing and sharing and sharing, and then share it again on all your platforms, all the great content here from Knicks and Ish. But for Kev Rodriguez, for Mrs. Knicks, for Fraz Taz, the Parlay Lord, shout out to the boss himself, Tea Time, wherever you are. I'm your boy, the infamous one, Knickerbocker Ave, and you already know what time it is.
Hit the outro.
Mic check 1, 2. Tell these rappers I'm outside, get them start acting up. Turning hoes to housewives from cleaning the ratchet up. Do it all from boom bap to melody rap. If they can put you in the box, then you might as well pack it up. Bars having bars, no cap, I'm Attica, you a precinct. How y'all competing when y'all just decent? Your rhyme efficiency's like logic simplicity. Don't tell me how much that you black, cause I don't see it.